All right, guys, welcome back to the second Guy Boston Sports channel, more Guy Boston Sports, and welcome back to the MLB Parlay of the Day series. Today we have a 14-game MLB slate on the board, and we're going to do our best to put together a 3, 4, 5-leg parlay with a nice payout here amongst all of these games. In terms of how we made out yesterday, we hit 3 of 4 legs. The Padres lose 4-3. They had their chances, looked good at times. Red Sox come through for us. The under in the first 5 for both the Athletics and St. Louis, and the Mariners and Rays, that comes through. But we had our chance at a plus 380 play. I liked the spot. I liked our looks. Padres just come up a run shy. But if you guys don't know how this works, we go through the games briefly and pick and choose some pieces to throw into a parlay. We're going to be involving alternate lines or heavily juiced plays at times, stuff like that. So buckle up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we do get into it, I want to talk to you guys about a new daily fantasy sports app here called Epic. Guys, Epic is very, very cool. I've been in there testing it out, and I've talked to the creator as well. Shout out to Matt. What this is, yeah, it's going to operate like your normal Prize Picks or DFS fantasy sports tool, in which you can pick more or less based on player set projections. You put them into an entry, and the more you win, the more you get paid out, right? That is the normal stuff. Where they come in clutch and make it really, really cool is the fact that you can also be the house in a sense. You can be the person that's fading other people's slips, and if they get it wrong, you end up getting paid out. So that's a very, very unique thing that they have in there right now. If you use the link down in the description as well as the pinned comment, or head to epicfantasy.com, spelled EPICK, and use code GUYBOSTON, you can deposit $50 and get $50. Again, there's a lot of cool things that they have involved over there, and I'm going to be talking to you guys a lot about this app. They have better payouts and better projections than some of the other competitors out there, so go ahead and check it out. Again, if you want to play normal, more or less based on player set projections, they got you hooked up. If you want to be the house in a sense and fade other users, say you're a know-it-all, say you want to fade some Joe Schmoes, Epic Fantasy is the place to do it. Go ahead and check it out, guys. Link down in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Again, you need to use code GUYBOSTON to trigger that deal in terms of depositing 50 and getting 50. Let's go ahead and dive into these games now. The first one we have is right here. We have Toronto and Cincinnati. I do like Toronto in this spot. They are plus 102 right now, so you're getting a decent amount of value on them if it is a straight play. I'm almost tempted to throw them into the mix of a parlay, even though that's kind of against these alternate lines and juiced lines practice that we normally go through. Nick Lodolo, I do think, is fadeable on the road. You can see his numbers on the season compared to at home, so that tells us that on the road he's a lot better. I will say he's very good against righties. There's a lot of righties in this lineup, sure, but ultimately the sinker is a pitch that this team hits really well. The changeup and fastball, I mean, the changeup, a lot of the guys in the lineup do hit the changeup well, but that fastball could be a problem for him as well. And oh, are we forgetting that this Toronto team is number 1 last 30 days against the left hand, number 1 in terms of average, WRC plus, on base, OPS, ISO, slugging. So yeah, I think we are going to toss Toronto in here for now, even though that's normally against what we normally do in terms of our practice here. We're looking for like some juiced plays, right? So Toronto's going to get thrown in there. Let's see. We'll go with, I guess MGM has the best odds as of right now. And guys, by the way, we did, and we have been getting the feedback of, hey, like, I know that we want to make these raw and go into each game, but we can trim out some of the fat. So appreciate you guys giving the feedback in the comments. We're still going to keep it raw, less edited, kind of go through the games, but we won't dilly-dally as much. I guess that will work, right? As I kind of dilly-dally right now. But let's move into the second game here. We have the Dodgers and the Pirates is what we're looking at. Is that what we have? No, Mets and Detroit is what we're going to be looking at on our dashboard. So in this one, yeah, the Mets have McClain on the mound going up against Sawyer Gipson Long. You can see here the numbers would obviously favor McClain. He's been really good in his first few starts here. This Mets team has been doing all right? They've scored a decent amount of runs lately. If we want to look at their team total over, you could see they've scored 5 runs at least, actually 6 runs at least in 7 of their last 10 games. They've been absolutely crushing it. By the way, guys, this tool is called Outlier. Scan that QR code or use the link down in the description. You get 7 days free. This is an amazing tool for what we're looking at here, but I actually prefer their player prop tool. You can go into any player and look at how they've been trending. You can look at them head-to-head, 2025, last year, this year, last 20, last 10. You can even pull up their insights. For example, Jeremiah Jackson. This is them finding this themselves, so we don't have to do the heavy lifting. Jeremiah Jackson exceeded 0.5 bases in 17 straight games. You kidding me? You can say, okay, what about on the road or against righty? All that stuff, even down to the pitch mix against these specific pitchers. So definitely go ahead and check out Outlier, guys. Again, scan that QR code that was on the screen or just use the link down in the description. You get 7 days free. No code needed. Anyways, the Mets team total is probably what I'm looking at here. We can say Mets to go out there and score 3 runs. They've done that in 9 of their last 10. 73% of games this year. And against righties, 73%. On the road, 69. Nice. But check this out. In 7 straight games there. Now, if we look at the park factor, right, what do we have here? -2%. That's not all that tremendous, but it's not terrible, right? And what we have them projected for is nearly 5 runs over on scorepredicts.com. And let's check out what Ballpark Pal has them projected at here, because I do think that, again, we're asking for 3 runs out of them. Shouldn't be all that terrible. The bullpen isn't that great on the Detroit side of things, so let's toss them in there. Let's go over 2.5. They need to go out there and score 3 runs for us. I definitely don't mind that. Let's move on here. Dodgers, Pittsburgh. We have Kershaw against Bubba Chandler. I do like the Dodgers here. The price is a little weird. Like, we got the Dodgers money line at, I think it was -154. We can now get it at -148. So, and when I say got it, we haven't actually placed this yet, but now I'm liking the direction this is moving in. Is there something going on with is there potentially something going on here with the lineups? What do we got here? Dodgers. Mookie, Will Smith, Shohei still in there. I mean, I guess not. It's kind of a weird price, right? And actually, we do have the lineup already built in here. We could have just checked our dashboard. I still think Dodgers money line is a good spot. Clayton Kershaw should be pretty good. You could see that this team struggles against the lefty, and then we're going to get a lot of sliders, right? They struggle against the slider. Only Triolo, I'm not afraid of, and Gonzalez, and I guess Devaney here are the only guys that really do hit the slider well, and that's even a stretch. So Dodgers money line could be thrown in. And guys, by the way, like I tell you guys, we're pretty much putting a bunch of plays in here, and we can whittle it down and chisel it down as we go. So as we go through the games, we'll put plays in. That doesn't necessarily mean that these are all going to be automatically something that we roll with, right? We could end up taking one out or that type of thing. But let's move on here. Again, we're not trying to dilly-dally. We got Crochet going up against Slade Ciccone. The only thing I want to look at here is potentially Garrett Crochet. Can we get like under 2.5 earned? Only on underdog. This is tough because I do think that the Red Sox are worth backing with Crochet on the bump. That said, the bullpen scares me a little bit because of Chapman not being in there, and this is a team that does rely on him heavily. But Whitlock, Slayton, Wilson, Weissert, all these arms that have been really good lately should be okay and good to go. So maybe it is just a Red Sox money line play. You can see this is the worst team in baseball average-wise, OPS and slugging against left-handers. They can't hit the fastball, the cutter. I mean, they can't hit anything, right? Garrett Crochet has a 9.8 out of 10 pitch mix rating today. So why don't we trust Crochet? Let's add them in there. Is there anything that we want to take out now? Maybe Blue Jays. Like if we have I like all of these better than that, right? So let's leave Blue Jays in, but I guess that probably is the next game, the next play that we take out. Washington, Miami, honestly, this is probably one in which we skip altogether. Not loving much of a matchup here. Cavalli versus Missouri, not too much to pull from, so let's not dilly-dally. Comment dilly-dally if you made it this far into the video. I don't even know how you spell that, but go ahead and give your best shot. Let's move on to the next game. We move on to Seattle taking on Tampa Bay. You can see here Brian Wu going up against Drew Rasmussen, 2 really good pitchers. Where I'm considering going here, and I'm honestly considering this as a straight play as well, but obviously we'll do an alternate line here, is taking a peek at an alternate total under in terms of the first 5. 5.5 is interesting here. You could see the Mariners have gone under in 5 straight. What about on the road? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 7? 6 straight. Okay, I counted 1 extra in their last 10, but obviously that's 6 straight. On the season, they've stayed under that as well. What if we flip it over to Tampa Bay? They've been good to that at home. A little worrisome because this ballpark obviously does induce runs. But how about that? On the season, Drew Rasmussen has stayed under the line of 5.5 and 87% of his starts. When on the road, Brian Wu, 64. I think this one's worth tossing in there, and then that's going to bump out this Toronto spot. So we have under 5.5 for the Mariners Rays. money line for the Red Sox, Dodgers money line, and then Mets over 2.5. This is already shaping up to be a parlay that I really like as a 4-leg. For what odds are we looking at here? Plus 294 is the best available, but you can get plus 289, plus 281, all kind of in the same range, but MGM with the best odds right now. I could like lock this in right now, and I really like it. So let's see what else we have here. We're only halfway through. This Atlanta-Chicago game, I don't think I like too much in, but we can talk about it a little bit. You can see here minus 11% in terms of the run index in Wrigley today. We got slight winds blowing in, but it is a little chilly. By the end of the game here, it's going to be 68 degrees. So that's obviously nothing to write home about. In terms of that, that's yesterday's matchup because we have the job running, which if you come here every single day, you know that we run a job pretty much right during the time that we do this. But Joey Wentz against Shota Imanaga. A fastball, the splitter, one pitch is good, one isn't. On the Joey Wentz side of things, the fastball and cutter could be really good. Like, I don't mind the idea of an under 8 here. But yesterday we did see a pretty tough game back and forth. I think it was 7-6 in extras. A lot of bullpen arms went. So the only thing I consider here, and I don't know if we actually place this one or throw it into the parlay, but the only thing I consider is somewhat of an alternate total. If we can get like under 10.5, that's tempting. Under 10.5. What do we have this projected at on our site here? Scorepredicts.com, by the way. Cubs, we have it at 7.5. Nice. What does Ballpark Bell have this one at? 4.7 to, yeah, maybe we do look at this under. I like both. Okay, under 10.5. We have wind blowing in. Two pitchers that have been pretty decent. Like Joey Wentz actually has been pretty good overall, right? And especially lately. In fact, let's get to that game. I can kind of show you his last 5 game logs just so you believe me, because Joey Wentz doesn't have the biggest of names, right? But check this out. Yeah, he has a couple spot starts that are bad, but ultimately he's been pretty good for the most part. And I kind of think that wind is going to help him out. I mean, we take a peek at both these guys throw the ball kind of in the air, right? And with that wind blowing in, that ball's not going to travel too far. So don't mind it. We could skip this one for the most part. Minnesota, Chicago, Davis Martin, Simeon Woods Richardson. I think the values on the White Sox today, maybe their team total over, but looks like we're going to have some rain. Going to be very humid. I don't think this is a good matchup whatsoever. So let's just move on here. All right, the only thing I'm looking for here, and I talked about it in my earlier video on the main channel, looking for Mitch Ferris potentially, his walks line. Now, we don't have anything available as of right now. But if we can snag something, I'd definitely be looking for it because in his AAA starts, which actually we could probably pull up here, you could see he actually walked a decent amount of guys, right? 23 starts here, 55 walks. So that's obviously over 2 walks per outing. And this is a Kansas City team that's walking a decent amount right now. So I'm looking for his walks line. I just don't know if we're going to get one released. Another one where we probably don't like anything in this game more than what we have involved so far right here, which is these 5 plays now. Yeah, you could say that this might be a good spot because the Athletics have the better pitcher, which I do think Severino on the road is a better pitcher, but he's coming off the injury report. Who knows how many innings he'll pitch, and I don't really want to involve this Athletics bullpen. So, yeah, you could make the argument for the Athletics for plus money, but to me, it's not really worth it right now. All right, this is a good one. Valdez Fried, 2 lefties, Yankees, Astros. Both these teams, kind of a big series for them, playoff implication-wise. Not necessarily against one another, but just based on how the AL is shaping up. I don't think there's enough parlay potential in this one, but I'm going to make sure to watch this damn game. It's going to be a very good game. I think for the first time in a while, it's going to be like a playoff atmosphere type of a game. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about this one. There's nothing parlay-wise that I'm really liking in it. All right, how about Logan Webb and Kyle Freeland? 2 pitchers that I do like. Logan Webb, you guys say, is my doppelganger. I kind of like an under. Now, I took the first 3 under in this one. Could we get an alternate line there? I got the first 3 under 3.5, right? Because it's playing in Coors. Minus 148 is actually a better number than I was looking at earlier. You can go under 4.5. 5 runs in the first 3 innings is a hell of a lot to ask for, right? Is there any other books other than MGM that offer that, though? Yeah, DK does at plus 650. You know what? It's risky because of the altitude and whatnot. I'm going to remove that one. And let's also see, is there something else we don't necessarily need in here? I'm almost thinking like the Red Sox, as weird as that is. Like, I don't think the Red Sox are totally worth minus 250 based on Chapman being out. You know what I'm saying? And Slade Cicconi's okay. I do think that they'll win, but in terms of this parlay, so we dropped from 426 down to 275 without the Red Sox. but it looks like 283 on DK, so that's not bad. All right, we've done a little bit of accounting there. Yes, we would like the Red Sox in, but I don't think that we totally need it. If you're watching right now, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. This is the second channel. You guys have been awesome in supporting the second channel as we've been posting more consistently on it in this parlay series. We have a ton coming on the second channel for football season as well. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Really do appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below what you think of the second channel and the content so far, because we'll also do some reactionary stuff and more like mini podcasts on here too. So yeah, very excited for it. Now let's jump back into the last couple games here. Lats taking on Chris Matt. I like the over in this game. I think it's going to be something that we roll with ourselves. Both offenses look okay. Not loving either pitcher. I will say, I don't think that I like it more than anything that we have in this slot right now. But if we can get a crazy good number as an alternate line, then maybe I'd consider it. Actually, I want to see what we got it. So I think that we got this total at 8.5 earlier. And yeah, we got a good price. We got like minus 120 something. So wow, that's some closing line. But if we were to go down to like, yeah, see, I was looking at like 6.5, minus 337, minus 371. Not exactly our cup of tea right now. Let's get to Baltimore and San Diego. Tyler Wells is making his first start of the season. Then we have Yu Darvish, who's been really good at home. I don't know how much we want to trust him. He's really good against righties. There's actually going to be a decent amount of lefties in the lineup today. I almost want to say the Padres is the spot, but their bullpen's definitely gotten some use. And this lefty spot kind of worries me. So I think we're going to skip this one and leave it as to what we have right now, which this is ultimately the final parlay here. We have the Mets over 2.5 runs scored, right? We have the Dodgers just to win the game. Then we have the first 5 under 5.5 in the Mariners and Rays game, and then the under 10.5 in the Braves and the Cubs game. That's going to be what we ultimately are rolling with in this one, guys. Let me know what you think of that parlay. It's plus 283 over on DK right now. I don't want to hear the value police being like, plus 283 for 4-leg. That's not all that great. I know. Parlays are meant to be fun. And speaking of fun, guys, again, one last reminder to go ahead and check out Epic. Link will be down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Make sure to use code GUYBOSTON. That'll get you that deposit match. So go ahead and check it out. Really, really fun. It's available in 38 of the 50 states. So check that out. And multiple states coming after talking to the owner. So really do appreciate you guys and your support on the channel. Catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.